Hey, man, we got some tragedy news. We got my man Bill Russell here. We ain't even gonna make this no sad video, man. Look, we here with Bill Russell. We're gonna watch some of his highlights, man. The video is called How Good Was Bill Russell actually was, man. So we're gonna check that mud out. But before we do that, I came across this clip on Twitter, man. And he with another legend. He with another legend. What can I say, bro? So if you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this reaction, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. We ain't even get the full intro, man. Turn notifications on, man. We on the grind to that big 1K, 600 on the way. Yeah. Run the intro though, man, cause I'm tripping. You too, what's good? What's going on, man? It's your boy B, and we back with another reaction video, man. Kobe, Bill Russell, they had a moment. Let's check it out, and we're gonna hop into the other video, man.
And I noticed that I watch a lot of your games. Right? You see, when I watch your games, I try to figure out what each player's agenda is, and to see how well he's carrying that out. That's the way I watch it.
Me too. But I got that because I read your book.
Oh, okay.
That's dope, man.
That's why I picked up on it.
Okay. So, like seriously, I couldn't be more proud of you than if you were my own son.
Thank you.
That's deep right there. He said I couldn't be more proud of you even if you was my own son. Bro, that's deep, bro. That's deep, man. Damn, bro. Rest in peace to legend, bro. Both of them, man.
And you said that. You said, I will. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
That's fire, bro. That's fire, bro. That's a Kobe and Bill Russell, bro. Come on, man. It don't get no better than that, bro. But let's go ahead and check out this other video we got prepared for us, man. They gonna get straight to it, man. Get it, man. Let's check out this. This video right here is by my man Nonstop Sports.
Talk about the greatest basketball players of all time. The usual suspects are Jordan and LeBron, followed by Kareem, Wilt, Kobe, and others. With 11 NBA championships in 13 years.
11 NBA championships? God!
Bill
11
Russell
of them
is widely
things,
recognized as the greatest winner in all professional sports. In this video, we'll try to answer the question of how good Bill Russell actually was. Did he really play against poor competition? And how would he fare in today's games? So stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Second pick in the draft, and coming to Boston. Red Auerbach is
Celtics.
often considered the best basketball GM ever, with 16 rings as a coach and executive. The Celtics already had Bob Cousy, who was the best NBA point guard, and is often considered second pick in the draft, and coming to Boston. Red Auerbach is often considered the best basketball GM ever, with 16 rings as a coach and executive. The Celtics already had Bob Cousy, who was the best NBA point guard and the most popular player at the time. However, the team had never made it to the finals, and in Russell, Auerbach saw a missing piece that would bring his squad to another level. Red was able to get Russell after a trade with the St. Louis Hawks, who drafted Russ second overall, but never really wanted him. Not because
St. Louis Hawks. St. Louis Hawks, bro. What?
of his abilities, but because of his skin color. St. Louis was an incredibly racist city at the time, and the team owners knew that it
Man, look, I still see people saying, damn, team all white too, ain't it? That's crazy. People in the comments even saying that. It was like, damn, it's racist. I seen a thumbnail of LeBron was talking about he hate playing in Celtics. Bruh. That shit crazy, man. I'm gonna have to switch teams. Racism is deeper than what you think it is. I'm a LA fan.
Sit well with the fan base. Bill came to play there. Once Russell joined the Celtics, it didn't take long for Red to realize that he is coaching the best basketball player in the world. As a rookie, Bill led the league in rebounding and was already its best defensive player. But his teammate Tom Heinsohn won Rookie of the Year award. With two-star rookies joining Cousy and Bill Sharman, Boston finally had a championship team. The Celtics met Bob Pettit and his St. Louis Hawks in the 1957 NBA Finals and were able to prevail in 7 games. Russ averaged 13.3 points and 23 rebounds for the series and instantly proved the Hawks ownership wrong for 23
rebounds is insane, bro. How tall is Bill Russell, bro?
And instantly proved the Hawks ownership wrong for trading him away. Titles, titles, titles. Titles I do adore. In 1958, in Russell's second season, the Hawks would avenge their loss and win their first and last title in franchise history. From that point on, Russell and the Celtics held a firm grip on the championship trophy, and like a mad Rottweiler, they wouldn't let go of it. From 1959 to 1969, Russell and the Celtics won every NBA championship, except in 1967, when Wilt Chamberlain finally managed to get over the Boston hump. Russ won the NBA MVP 5 times in that span.
Damn.
He did so in the seasons where Wilt averaged 50 points per game, and when Oscar Robertson was averaging his standard triple-double. He was either the best rebounder in the league, or second best behind Wilt, and was widely regarded as the NBA's best defensive player. His rivalry with Chamberlain was the main topic of newspaper.
Yo, I wouldn't mind playing like a game of 2K where like you get to play with like all the old school teams. I remember I did that in like 2K. What was it? 2K the one with Kobe was up there. 2K, was it 2K13? 2K13? Oh, it was 2K. Or was that 2K10? It was one of them. It was one of them where you can play with. I was playing with the old school teams. That shit was fun, bro. I was like, damn, these niggas is like, they like that.
Columns and barbershop discussions at the time, and this grand debate carried over to the present day.
Damn,
both have arguments going in their favor. Wilt was a superior athlete and had better stats across the board, but Russ's hands were often more victoriously raised in the air, far more often to be exact. The two giants of the game met 8 times in the playoffs, and Russell's teams won 7 of those matchups. There were 4 Game 7s between Bill and Wilt, and all 4 went to Russell, even though all of them were extremely close.
Damn.
But were all of those victories because of Russell, or is it more because the Celtics had a superior team? Well, the answer is somewhere in the middle, and we'll try to explain that with some stats and quotes from both Russell and Chamberlain. Bill Russell changed the way basketball was played. Bill Russell changed the game of basketball forever. In his first varsity game at college, Bill played against a 3-time All-American center and blocked his first 5 shots. Russell's coach called a timeout and said, "You can't play defense like that," because he had never seen a shot being blocked before. Basketball was a...
He said you can't play defense like that. What? Nah, these dudes blocking this shit mid-air, bro. Told you can't play defense like that.
Very horizontal game in the 50s, and Russ was the first player to play it vertically. He was jumping straight up to block shots. He wasn't shooting underhanded scoop layups, and was the first center to lead the break coast to coast. Bob Cousy was the best NBA point guard in the 50s. With him and Russell, the Celtics introduced another new thing to the game, the fast break, which they perfected and played better than anybody. On the defensive end, Russell was a true pioneer, and this is where he had the greatest impact on the court. He was the first center who blocked shots, and the first one that played help defense. Extremely mobile at 6.
I like this right here, bro. Educational, man. That. I like these videos, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. If you're enjoying the content, you're learning something new. I'm definitely learning something new, man. Learning something new all the time when I react to these videos like these right here, man. These boys be talking about. Big shout out to Nonstop Sports, man, for the vid as well. I definitely go over there, check out his channel, subscribe to him as well. Show his channel some love.
Often guard up to 3 players during one possession. Blocks weren't counted in official statistics at the time, but I'm sure both Russell and Chamberlain would rank at the top of the all-time list if they did count them. If you give his stats a superficial glance, you'd say that his career average of 15 points per game, 44% shooting percentage, and 56% from the free throw line are mediocre numbers.
Yeah.
However, when Russ came to the league, the average shot percentage was only 38%.
Damn.
So he was actually an above-average offensive player pretty much his whole career. Also, his offense wasn't so much about scoring. It was about passing that set him apart. Even though Wilt led the league in assists one year, Russ was the best passing big of that era. Boston's number 6 is arguably the best outlet passer in the history of the game, and much of the Celtics' game plan was revolved around Bill's supreme rebounding and passing the ball towards the guards for a quick counterattack. And yes, Russell was usually the 4th or 5th best scorer on the Celtics, and has played with 8 other Hall of Famers during his 13 years in Boston. But then again, some of those Hall of Fame nods wouldn't have happened without Russ, who was the brain, the muscle, and the heart.
Yeah, he grabbed hella rebounds, yamming on people and then some motion.
How good would Russell be in today's game? Another often heard argument against Russell is also that he played in league with only 8 teams. Well, to that I say, the same things that worked for him also worked for his opponents. You know, other teams in the league also had only 7 teams to beat, and they could beat every one of them. Yes, it's impossible to dominate like that today, with free agency, salary cap, and frequent player fluctuation. However, that's not Bill Russell's problem. He did what he had to do, went to 12 finals in 13 years, and won 11 of them. It's fair to say that he couldn't have had
12 finals, 13 years, and went to 11 of them, man. You can't blame what your bro was born in, man. He dominated in his era, bro. Can't really compare his era to 2 different generations, man. Different rules, different regulations.
Their career, and he has deducted titles from many NBA greats, most notably Wilt and Jerry West. And if you wanted to compare Russ to some of the more recent players, I'll go on a limb and say he wouldn't be the best player in basketball anymore. He would undoubtedly be a good player in any era, but I still think his 230-pound, 6'10 frame wouldn't fare all that well if he came across a 340-pound Shaq.
Damn!
But that's the catch-22, and the forever daunting and the forever active 10 frame wouldn't fare all that well if he came across a 300.
Shaq, what the fuck you like? They ain't open gym and shit, breaking rims and bro, like what you got going on, Shaq? Come on, man.
40-pound Shaq.
God.
But that's the catch-22, and the forever daunting and the forever meaningless task to compare eras. Even though I think centers like Olajuwon, Shaq, and even some power forwards like Duncan and Garnett would dominate the 50s, there is no time machine to translate them to that time. There was always the other side.
More athletic.
O'Neal and Duncan were wearing cushioned Nikes and Reeboks, while Russell was playing in flat-footed Chuck Taylors. Shaq and Timmy were flying private with a team of doctors, assistant coaches, videographers, and a plethora of other guys who were now employed by an NBA team. When Russell played, he was flying commercial. Sports science was not even a thing, and the NBA was barely surviving as a league at the time. And the most important thing is that Shaq and Duncan could learn the game from Russ.
And they probably they're making way more money now than they was back then.
Bill Russell only had Bill Russell if he wanted to learn something. The best leader. After he was clearly the best player of a team that won the 1955 NCAA title and lost only 1 game in a season, Russ was expecting to get the yearly award for the most outstanding college player. He didn't get it, and the award went to somebody else because that player was white. From that point on, outraged and disappointed, Russell swore that he would only care about one stat, the W. The core question he always asked himself was, what can I do to make my team win? He read about Wilt's supremacy, but never wanted to change his game to try to match Wilt's numbers. And because he understood Wilt was a superior individual player, Russell played to his strengths and relied on his teammates. Did he have better teammates than Wilt for most of his career? Yeah, he probably did. But were his teammates better because of Russ? And right they were. Chamberlain himself said it best. Wilt Chamberlain on the Celtics wouldn't have been as successful because I was a scorer too. I would have taken the ball out of the hands of Heinsohn, Kusi, and others. Similar to Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell had the absolute focus when he played basketball. And in those 48 minutes, there was nothing in this world more important than the game. He was so passionate and so intense that he would throw up before almost every playoff game. In 1967, Russell became the first professional black coach in all major American sports and operated as a player coach. As soon as he became the coach, Russ cut all the social ties he had with his teammates, as he wanted to establish authority without the emotions that go into being one's teammate. And that's what made Russell an all-time great.
That's crazy, bro.
Russ cut all the social ties he had with his teammates, as he wanted to establish authority without the emotions that go into being one's teammate. And that's what made Russell an all-time great. It was not his physical, it was his mental. The most respected NBA player ever. We can't talk about Russell's legacy without mentioning his work off the court. Bill Russell meant a lot for civil rights movements in America. In a racially segregated country, Russell was vocal about what he thought was right. When he didn't get served in a Kentucky restaurant, he and other black Celtics players refused to play in the next day's game, and thus sent a powerful message across the league and the nation. Russell also stood with Ali when he refused to fight in Vietnam, and was in the first row when Dr. King made the "I Have a Dream" speech in Washington. Alongside Oscar Robertson and some other players, Russell organized the first players union, and alongside the league, players refused to play in the next day's game, and thus sent a powerful message across the league and the nation. Russell also stood with Ali when he refused to fight in Vietnam, and was in the first row when Dr. King made the "I Have a Dream."
He was in the first row when Dr. King made the "I Had a Dream" speech, bro, in front of millions of people. Look like millions.
Speech in Washington. Alongside Oscar Robertson and some other players, Russell organized the first players union and bargained with the NBA, which indebted every NBA player coming after them. Bill was an example of how an athlete should behave and speak. He carried himself with immense pride, and yet was very humble and down to earth. For those reasons, his impact on the game of basketball and the NBA is beyond measure, and that's why the great Bill Russell is the most respected basketball player in history.
That's lit, bro. There you guys go, man. A little history about Bill Russell, man. Some highlights, man. How good he actually was. He was killing them, man. And they showed some Wilt Chamberlain highlights as well. R.I.P. the GOAT, bro. R.I.P. all the GOATs, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the reaction, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Check out one of the videos on the screen if you haven't done so already. It's definitely a banger. I wouldn't miss it if I was you. Just saying. Hit that sub button on the way out if you haven't done so neither. And I catch y'all next video. All right, man.